right, well, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin.
I'm Tarsha.
And this is Conversations with the Crawleys. And this video is all about the latest episode, Secrets and Betrayals of Ready to Love. Season 4?
I'm assuming so.
All right.
Like you've been keeping up.
So, this one was, first of all, I'm a little mad at how it ended. We'll get to that in a moment. Last week ended kind of on a cliffhanger too. So this week we kind of jump right into...
Right, the conversations at the end of the dates, or the elimination dates.
Right. And here's the thing. As far as our predictions, we've been pretty much spot on all season.
Yeah, we've been spot on.
You know, I said that I thought that, Ron was going to go home and David may have self-eliminated. Kind of happened, but David was supposed to go home, as we see. But
right.
Long story short, David did self-eliminate. You all saw that interaction.
Well, he was going to be eliminated.
He was going to be eliminated.
But he tried to self-eliminate before he got eliminated.
Yeah, and that's a I want to say punk move, but it's a punk move.
Either way, he didn't save face because of the interaction.
Right.
So if he was trying to save face, he didn't do a good job with that either.
Right. And I don't like the fact that he tried to over-spiritualize everything. And again, if you're new to the channel, again, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, request notifications. But we're pastors, we're authors, we're entrepreneurs, what have you. I don't like the fact that he over-spiritualizes, like the devil's in our bit. I see how the devil's moving.
Okay, let's just be realistic. If you're in the church, sometimes you over-spiritualize things. And a lot of times we use our own demise, which in this place we understand he needs more healing. We want to blame it on the devil. Everything ain't
True.
The devil, so you can't just... It's just it is what it is.
It is what it is. I just don't particularly care for it. I don't like it when I see stuff like that where it's take ownership, take
right.
Authentic, or kind of have accountability for your own actions. Right. Don't blame everything on.
Well, you got to have self-awareness to do that. Right.
Right. And he does not have it.
And obviously, with the case of him, sharing something that Liz felt was between him and her,
right.
Two new friends that she's never met before, and then trying to get to the bottom of it and how he responded to that, It just went downhill really quickly.
Very quickly.
Well, hopefully once he see the show,
hopefully he'll get some counseling and some other stuff
right.
going. So, he self-eliminated to avoid being eliminated, right? Okay.
Okay.
And then the other one, Ron with Alexis.
Now, I was surprised, and maybe it's just the way they were cutting the film, but I thought Ron had more respect for women. And I'm going to say the term women because I feel like how you treat one woman, you typically going to treat everyone the same. Even if you're mad at someone, you shouldn't be telling them they're not intelligent or they can't do anything for you.
Yeah, his exact words were, I thought you were a little smarter.
Right. I was like, oh, wow. And you could have been in the heat of the moment.
Right.
Got you. But at the same time, I feel like he could have did a lot better job. He was not classy.
No. And then he kind of let spill something that...
Oh, then he want to throw Amber under the bus? Why did he leave?
Straight threw her under the bus. I don't know if I believe it 100%.
I don't believe it 100%, but, Amber has gone on a date with Joel. And she allowed them to kiss. Well, I know point where actually we saw a kiss between...
Right.
Her and someone else.
Right.
That wasn't Chris.
Right. And again, the whole show is you're finding love. So I'm not put off by the fact that if she did go on the date with Ron and she did kiss, at the end of the day, that's part of the process.
Well, and also she never indicates she didn't have a number 2 or number 3.
True.
So she keeps focusing on her number 1. But again, you're right. She's in a dating process and she's a grown woman.
Yep.
If she gives consent and she wants to kiss Ron, that was her business to kiss Ron. Now, was it Ron's business to yell it out as he left? No.
Yeah.
I don't think that was his business.
Yeah.
But again, he was just trying to create a wound and throw salt on Alexis.
Yeah. So, he whereas David kind of did duck and cover to avoid getting eliminated.
Ron was like, I'm throwing
a grenade right into this whole thing.
How about that?
We're going to blow it all up.
I kissed Amber. I'm like, dude, whatever.
It said it hasn't been fun with Alexis. So, yeah. So, I think someone put in our comments not too long ago, wouldn't be surprised if Ron went back and found Chrysanthemum. That probably wouldn't surprise me. That That would seem possible, very possible.
Hey, they got more than enough time.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right. So then the fellas, they meet up with Tommy in the gents lounge, and they're noticing we got some brothers missing. Right. We got some brothers MIA.
4.
So it's now 4 guys, 5 ladies.
Yeah.
And so Tommy sends them to a ranch where they can kind of go and get away. So what I do like about this is, and they've done this before, where they sent them kind of like on a trip. It does allow the opportunity for a little more focused interaction.
Correct.
Between the all of the participants, right?
And also, you seen both people you like. So how are they going to respond in different situations?
Right.
How are they going to respond when I'm hanging out with the other one that I like? So I think it's good to see a dynamics, and how people are going to treat one another as they're mingling.
Right. Now, Amber gets to the ranch and she chooses violence. She chooses to come in there just blowing it all up. So she asks Joel, so how about Kyra?
Oh, yeah, because they're all sitting together and Joel's, popping about Valencia, blah, blah, blah. Venetia. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Baby. And he said, hold on, you didn't call her baby the night there was elimination.
You ain't say nothing about Venetia. Kyra was all up in your mouth.
Right. And he was like, oh, didn't give me a chance. Dude, you had 2 weeks to say, let me tell you what happened before it gets out that this is what occurred.
And of course, it's news to Venetia, right? And she's hurt by it, understandably so, right? If this is the person that has been saying that you're their number one and y'all have had this connection.
And Tommy, I'm calling everybody wrong name.
You just mixing up names, listen.
Look, Tommy was like, you have to choose who you're going to lead with. And then he called him, he's like, look, you saying these names that ain't your number one going to get y'all in trouble.
And it sure enough did.
Yep.
And then I don't know if you all saw this, but it was interesting just to watch all the other people like do the church finger and tip out.
Man, watch that video again. I see people slowly getting up. Slowly.
You see Chris walking away like, okay.
Even Amber was like, okay, I'm going to set it on fire and walk off.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all wrong.
So that was a consistent thing for them is really trying to help Venetia. Well, because I think her issue was, and she kind of mentioned it, was that he didn't even apologize for it.
Right.
It was like, one, she was caught off guard by it.
Right.
And then 2, he didn't apologize.
Well, and think about it this way, right? So you get mad off of one situation and that one decision or one miscommunication, you decide you're going to go off in the sunset with someone else.
Right.
That quickly.
Right.
That would be a concern for me. Now I'd rather you know what, even if you had said, I can't choose right now, my mind somewhere else, then go back to the conversation with her saying, hey, I got these feelings and I'm upset that blah, 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 whatever was miscommunicated, which we found out what the miscommunication was. Again, it was still on him.
It was on him. So the common issue is him right now.
The common issue is him. So I think that she was right about her decision to really be upset and really want him to understand how she felt. And then he needed to make a decision okay, are you going to hear me or are you going to just listen to yourself talk? Right.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a classic case of don't make a permanent decision based off of temporary feelings or temporary situations, right? The fact that they had a miscommunication, it happens. Listen, we've been married 25 years. There have been many times where we've had miscommunications.
And we're going to probably still have miscommunications.
Yep, we still going to have them. But at the end of the day, we're not throwing away something over a temporary thing because we can get over and get beyond it, right?
Yeah, who you going to pick if you're going to walk out with?
We'll figure something out. All right, anyway. And then we have another commercial for Seagram's Escapes. Listen, Seagram's has invested money into this Ready for Love show.
Seagram's getting theirs and it's where can we go? We can get black people and alcohol together. And Ready for Love.
It's so obvious product placement. It's not it's just oh, the Seagram's van shows up and hey, we're going to make drinks. I want the Bahama Breeze. I want the Bahama Mama. I want the... Listen,
Make your money.
Sequels make your money, right?
It's so funny.
All right, so then
A whole van.
Yeah, a whole van.
And a mixologist.
Yeah, the same
She
lady
drives the van and mix drinks.
I hope she getting,
She better be
getting
getting
credits
paid.
or something,
Look,
right?
if I'm gonna drive the van and gotta mix drinks, whole setup, I want tips. They should have showed the tip jar.
Yes. So then Kyra talks about how she's making a decision on what's best for her, not on who chooses her, which to me is, of course, that's a wise way to do it, but it's different than I think what we've seen from Alexis, because Alexis seems to be choosing based on who chooses her, as opposed to what's best for her, which is why, we had that whole thing of her and Ron. But her strongest, she says, is with Jason, which I think there's this thing between her, Jason, and AJ, right? I've said this, and we talked about this. I think AJ is more her type, and probably more of what she's normally goes for. I think Jason is her safe choice.
And like I was saying to you, there's nothing wrong with that. I think Kyra is trying to say, I want to choose something different.
Right.
I want to choose something that I normally don't choose because it's exciting for me. I maybe she feels like she wouldn't get hurt, but at the same time, I think she's going to get bored with Jason.
Yeah.
But I think with AJ shows that he has changed and she just has to be open to give him a try.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, no matter who you with, the people you love the most tends to hurt you the most.
Right.
So you're trying to keep from hurt. Hurt is going to come. They're going to, in some form or another, no matter who you end up loving. So I think when you don't recognize that or learn from that experience, then that's when you're in that turmoil. Who should I pick? Right. I believe this person will never hurt me. So I'm going to go with them. And then they turn out to disappoint you or hurt you or whatever. Right. But the whole goal here for her, I think, I just really feel like she has a better emotional connections, soul connection, if I could put it that way, with AJ.
Yeah, I think that AJ is, like I said, I think he's the better fit. I don't know what it is. I'm not really a fan of Jason.
Yeah, and I just can't figure out what it is. I feel like he shows attention to the women that when he's with them, and I think it comes off genuinely, and so I think that he'll make a good husband for whoever he ends up with. But I think what we don't see a lot from Jason, or the way Jason's being viewed in the Ready for Love series, is a more light, fun, youthful, maybe a little naive in a sense. And we're not getting to see him make decisions and stuff. He is a teacher, Right. So there's a place where he has to be demanding, authoritative, and we don't see that side of Jason a lot here. We see his playful, light side, relax.
And I mean, and what comes out later, what we see later is during the Truth or Dare section, he's not able to couldn't answer the question of Liz versus Kyra. So there's an indecisiveness there too, that at this stage you got to be firming up some things, right?
Well, I think he did firm up something, because he stated that he wouldn't kiss Liz again until he knew the one.
But he's been throwing his lips on her every chance he got. So,
well, hey, is that making up his decision? Because like with Kyra, he was concerned about finances. It seems like he is a saver. He seems like he wants someone maybe mature enough to handle some things if they bring households together.
Right.
And I think any person should choose that if they feel like maybe they're not as good in that area, or they want someone that has a maturity to them that maybe they're not seeing in the other person.
Yeah. All right. I'm still not a fan. But anyway. All right. And then, Kyra, AJ, Liz, Jason, they all go horseback riding. Nothing major there. It seems like they're pairing off in that instance of Kyra and AJ, and then Liz and Jason.
Right.
So, we'll see how that really, plays out towards the end.
Yeah, I'm surprised Kyra hasn't made her move to spend more time with Jason.
That's true. That's true. And again, I think it goes back to the fact that I think that AJ is more her fit.
I think so too.
So
go for it, Kyra.
Hey, I mean, listen, she had what, 4 choices a couple weeks ago?
Okay.
So
she can have the pick of the litter.
She can choose what she wants to choose, right? And then Joel and V they're still halfway through the episode. They're still not getting along. Right. He's cooking. She's, and he's kind of, trying to interact with her. And she's like, look, she's expressing her hurt, right?
Right.
And she even walks away at some point, like she's done, to the point where Chris has to come in and try and help Joel.
Right.
Like, look,
save
bro,
the day.
listen,
right.
you need to go fix that.
Fix it. Like the.
What was that? Why did I get married to?
Fix it.
The trash ending for that movie. Listen. But yes, all you need is Janet in the off to the side saying, "Fix it." Right. So then, so they do finally. He at least, I think he got a little thirsty there. He was literally, I think towards he got thirsty and pressed. He was just like, hey, it was just a little too much. It was like, I know you're trying to get back in her good graces, what have you, but then it was just like, okay. It just felt pressed to me.
Let it breathe.
Right. That's what I'm looking for. Yes.
But at the end of the day, you're trying to save face. So right. I get that, and that's just his style of doing it. But
the question is that his authentic style? Because one of y'all in the comments, listen, we'll pay attention to your comments. One of y'all in the comments let us know. It looks like Joel, and we don't know this, so listen, we're not saying this is allegedly. Joel divorced his wife before
she got sick. Right.
And then took up with a coworker.
Right.
And is now saying, lost his wife, what have you, for sympathy. So
right.
Allegedly, we don't know about Joel's great character. Right. That we're trying to see.
Right. Right.
Again, what's being portrayed.
Right. So who knows?
Right. So, but listen, we'll pay attention to your comments. So again, let us know the tea in the comments. We do pay attention.
In the comments.
Listen.
We're going to let you lead it.
Okay. And then they all kind of at dinner or, kind of just hanging out afterwards on the ranch. Alexis talks about how she did not hear back from AJ and she's trying to get her place with him. Right.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like she was trying to call him, right? So she's trying to initiate because she's heard about what happened with Ron. And with AJ saying he's putting interest, you got to show interest when you say you're interested. So she is a little put off by the fact that he didn't call her back. I'm texting you. Something just happened and I wanted you to be there for me because you understand the situation we're in and what we're going through. And he wasn't there. So she has a very valid point. But AJ tried to mace it out like it's her issue and not his issue.
Well, he makes a statement that she needs a lot of reassurances, which to me, I think the thing that I see from Alexis is that she needs a lot of validation and reassurance, which is why we have constantly been hearing from her, am I your number one? Who's your number one? Am I your number one? I want to be your number one. Am I your number one? So I think that what her root issue, and again, we're amateur psychoanalysts, right? I think her root issue is that she needs validation. She needs reassurances. And so, yes, when the thing fell apart with Ron, we now see her running to her next one to saying, I need you to reassure me that I'm valuable. Reassure me that,
think
that
about
you want
it.
me.
It's 5 women. She could go home. So again, if we talk about her competitive nature, right? She recognized there's 5 women. AJ's the last opportunity, first of all, for her to stay. Yep. And he needs to know because AJ just started to show interest, really basically verbalizing it to her. She wants to make sure she's still in. Yeah. So I get all that. You have to, but you got to take that into consideration when she now knows there's only 5 women and there's 4 men. So, and she just let Ron go. I feel like it's a valid conversation in the sense of you made a statement to me and hugged up and kissed up on me. Now I just want to verify because your action by not calling me, by not responding to my text. I need to know because you said one thing and automatically you've already done something else.
It's valid if you win in $250,000. It's not valid if you're trying to find love. And I think
it is valid. I believe it is because you just kiss me.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
And then I don't hear from you. I didn't hear from you because something happened that I really wanted to talk to you.
But if it was that devastating
and
with
then I
Ron,
come in a room and there's 4 women.
But if it was that devastating with Ron, then that tells me that your attention is based upon who's showing you attention at that time. So if it was that devastating with Ron, but AJ is her top choice, then the fact that he may not have called her right back or texted her right back, that's just par for the course in some respects. I think that my issue with Alexis is I think that she is so focused on competing, but also focused on being the one or being chosen, that she'll go wherever the attention comes to her. So here, if Joelle started showing her attention, she'd be like all up under him.
I don't think
so. She goes where the attention comes from.
So.
When Jason wasn't giving her attention, she shifted around. Whoever gives her attention.
No. Her and Jason had a conversation. He let her know.
But she was saying, I don't feel, I feel...
Right, so she approached it.
Right, but he wasn't giving her the attention that he was giving maybe at Kyra.
And he acknowledged it after she approached it. So she approached AJ.
She needs to have the validation and the reassurances. But
listen, that's a good example. She approached Jason. Jason acknowledged it and said, you know what? I'm not feeling you. She moved on. She did the same thing with AJ. Hey, are you feeling me or do I need to move on? That's all she's doing. Got the tape. It's on the tape.
She needs validation. All right. Anyway.
I got you, girl.
Yeah, somebody need to get you. All right. So then they do play some Truth or Dare, which is a scary thing in this type of environment.
Who brings it out? Kyra.
Kyra's like, let's play Truth or Dare. Okay. Couple of things from there. This is one of the things I was looking at. Jason kisses Joelle, not Jason. I'm sorry, Joelle. Joelle kisses V, but he kisses with his eyes open. I found that creepy. Listen. Before my wife, way back in the day, there was a girl that I dated, and she would kiss with her eyes open. It was the creepiest thing.
All the time.
Tarsha, it was creepy. I was like, okay. It was like you making sure that I'm still there and I don't go away if you close your eyes. I'm not saying you got to be like, but it was just like. So he kisses V with his eyes open. I just found it kind of creepy. I don't know what you thought.
I didn't really say anything. It's an awkward moment anyway because you have to kiss someone.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So then a couple other things. AJ, there's some kissing, there's some rubbing of feet, what have you.
Right.
AJ admits that he's torn between Kyra and Alexis, and he gives great reasoning on what it is for him, why he likes one and the other.
She made it a 2-part question.
Yeah, right. So when he was pressed further, unlike Jason, who couldn't answer.
Right, he couldn't answer.
What he liked one or the other. AJ at least is able to communicate.
Right.
This is what I appreciate about Kyra.
Right.
This is what I appreciate about Alexis. And of course, Alexis is like, oh, okay, I feel a little validated from that.
Because that's what she was asking for.
Because she needs validation. Like I said, thank you.
She was asking for that.
She was, yes.
He didn't give it,
validation.
and he didn't give it when they were talking.
She needs validation. All right.
Anyway.
So then we end with Alexis popping off.
Alexis like, this is my time for confession. This confession.
These are my confessions.
Oh my God. I was like, why is this confession time? This is messy. Don't ever do this. If you have a problem with a woman that's supposedly going to be your friend, I don't know why people make besties on a show where you're looking for love. You make friends afterwards. Tell all the women up front, I'm sorry I can't be friends right now. I'm trying to date one of y'all men. Because everybody's dating the same person. So she she says, this is heavy on me, and this is the time to be the altar call.
Like her spirit is just grieved by this.
Right. Gonna point out Amber, like, Ron, matter of fact, yeah, what happened with me and Ron, it didn't go well. And then Ron said he kissed Amber, blah, blah, blah. Amber, me and you, we talk on the phone, we prayed about this, and this is how you gonna treat me.
And you gave me advice, and
you gave me advice, and blah, blah, blah.
And you kissed him, and Chris is like, oh, okay.
Oh, and I think Chris is more looking like, okay, was there a backstabbing moment here? Right. He's looking at it from that perspective because he's done this before, right? Right. So, but I'm like, why? Why now? Why not come to me straight up?
Right.
As a woman, like, hey, this is what happened with me and Ron, and this is what he said when he left. Mm-hmm. Girl, what happened?
So let's just compare and contrast, because what Amber did earlier, thought it was a little messy, not as messy as this, when she called out Joel with V. But I think that was from the aspect of, I'm protecting V's heart because I got this information.
Probably when she had that date with Ron. Right.
On the flip side, though, it would be, now if the equivalent would be if Alexis went to Chris and it's like, hey, did you hear about the kiss between? Mm-hmm. That would be the equivalent. Mm-hmm. But she essentially attacks Amber in an open session.
Right.
And it's like, you're a Judas, you're this, you're that. And so it's interesting. And that's, of course, where things cut off.
Right. But see, this is another thing. The man that you just had an argument with, who you don't agree with the way he spoke to you.
Called you stupid.
And you don't believe you're stupid. But you're going to believe everything he said about being on another date.
Right.
That's another confusing
in a show
thing.
Where everyone is dating everybody.
Right. So I'm very confused. I was like, first thing I want to do is go to my girl. I've had conversations with her. I've known her at least throughout this show. And Ron, I see now you're condescending, that you're going to just say anything out of your mouth so that you can feel like you're ahead. Yep. So I'm going to go to my girl and say, listen, this is what happened. He's nasty. I don't like him. Mm-hmm. But I'm coming to you and giving you an opportunity to share your perspective.
Right.
And get it said and done.
Yep.
So you don't come into a whole night. I'm like, all that time, you could have pulled her aside and got it out of the way.
Exactly. I mean, it's not like they avoided each other the entire time.
No, she was hanging out with
Amber's looking
her.
Like, oh, wow, we doing this now.
Right. She's like, what the?
So the thing I think to watch next week will be, of course, one, how Amber responds to that.
Right.
That's one key thing.
Right.
But the other thing is, does Chris have the maturity and the emotional stability to be like, look, it's part of what we're doing here, and not feel like threatened. Like, for example, like we saw David feel threatened when Liz kissed Jason.
Right.
Where it's now becoming this issue that now is driving a wedge. I'm not sure.
Right.
At the end of the day, this is what the whole process is for.
Right. And I don't perceive that.
I don't think Chris
I think Chris is just thinking more, were you a good friend?
Right.
When things happen, are you going to be there for me when I need you?
Yeah.
And that's, I feel like, the perspective I'm hoping he's going to give. Mm-hmm. But again, hopefully Alexis, if she's going to show that she's a mature woman, because you don't call somebody else out on their stuff, since you're going to put it out there this way, I want to be able to explain. And that's what Amber's trying to do. But now she's hurt for all kinds of reasons. Mm-hmm. And she's taking it out on Amber. Yeah. That's another thing. You done found someone else that you're taking out all your frustrations and whatever out on. So.
Yeah. So next week, I'm assuming that we're going to see ladies be dismissed, or a lady be dismissed next week, because we did have two guys. So my prediction, of course, is that Alexis is going to be gone. Mm-hmm. I don't think she has that strong of a connection with anyone to keep her. Yes, she's got a connection with AJ, but I think AJ is leaning a little more towards Kyra, is my belief.
Yeah. And Kyra needs to lean to AJ anyway.
Yeah. The only other option might be Liz, potentially. Liz going home. And the reason I say that is because Jason needs to make a decision. No one else is really feeling Liz or put, really
putting effort
into Liz that we can see. I think Joel and Vernicia's connection, I think Joel wants to stay on long enough, and Vernicia's connection is strong enough to survive. I think Amber and Chris are strong enough to survive. Right. I think Kyra has so many options. She's surviving. So she got options, listen. But I think that my first choice of who's going to go home next week will be Alexis, followed by Liz.
Interesting.
Okay? All right.
How many couples are they going down to?
They're supposed to get down to 2 or 3. I think they're supposed to get to 3.
Oh, 3 couples, okay.
And truth be told, we have 3 potential. You have Joel and Vernicia. You have Amber and KG. And then you have Kyra and whomever she decides to choose.
Yeah.
So we'll see. All right, but let us know in the comments your thoughts. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and we will see you next time. Have a great one. Be blessed.
Bye.